Bizarre trial. It's had its share of the crazies. Jodi Arias, the Arizona woman who says she cannot remember stabbing her ex-boyfriend 27 times and shooting him in the head and slitting his throat from ear to ear, behaving strangely in a newly uncovered police interrogation videotape. This is from 2008. There it is. Before she settled on self-defense as the reason for killing her former lover. In the videotape, she lies to the cops over and over again, saying she had no clue how her ex wound up dead. No idea about the dozens of stab wounds, the throat being slashed, or who put a bullet through his head. After some 4 hours of grilling, though, detectives decide, hey, let's leave the room. But you know what? Let's keep the cameras rolling. It's an old trick. And Arias begins singing, and then she does a headstand, and things get crazier from there. Adam Housley with the news live at our West Coast News Hub. Adam, you've got even more of this videotape that we haven't even seen yet. Tell us about it.
Yeah, our producers and myself, we've looked at this video, and it goes on for, some time. Of course, the investigation and the interview went on for several hours. And a lot of it's very normal, stuff you would see in a normal investigative process where you have the investigator in there asking questions. At times she cries and becomes emotional, but you see her looking through garbage cans and talking to herself, chuckling at times, only minutes seemingly after crying to investigators. And then she talks about her appearance. We're going to show you this next clip of video, which you haven't yet seen on Fox, where she talks about her appearance to the investigator and then would talk about her appearance to herself. Take a listen.
This is a really trivial question, and it's going to reveal how shallow I am. But before they book me, can I clean myself up a little bit?
You're going to be taken the way you are.
You should have at least done your makeup, Jodi. Gosh.
You should have done your makeup, Jodi. Gosh. You can see that it has a lot of people upset. And it's just one piece of a number of scenes, Greg, that are just completely bizarre.
Yeah, maybe she was thinking she was going to be a star, and my gosh, wish I had my makeup, which is really bizarre. But look, has Arias, she is apparently quite the singer as well. Tell us about that part.
Yeah, you mentioned she sings to herself. It's a Dido song, and ironically, it's about her memory. And as we know, we've been following this story. She was on the stand 18 days in a row, and her memory was questioned not only by the prosecution, but also by the jurors, because in Arizona, you're allowed to ask the defendant questions. The jury is through the judge, and they questioned her memory. Take a listen to this.
No, I don't wanna lose a thing. It might change my memory, and I can't hide. Resting here with me.
Again, Jodi Arias is part of that interview in Siskiyou County back in 2008, just weeks after killing her boyfriend, and she would be arrested. In fact, one scene you don't see in that video that we've shown you just now, Greg, is she sees the investigator, you see her walk off camera, and you hear the click of handcuffs. Also, you might note that she's very smart. She's not a dumb woman, and we've seen that on the stand, and so she had to believe that this camera was rolling.
Cold calculating is how the jury, if they ever see this, and they probably will, may regard her. All right, Adam, you're going to be on with Greta tonight on The Record, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll probably have a lot more by then. Thanks so much. What could this videotape mean for the trial? Let's take it to our legal panel. Rebecca Rose Woodland and Evangeline Gomez are both defense attorneys. Rebecca, this probably comes in. She'd already been Mirandized, and so I suspect the jurors will eventually see it when they do. Damning for the defense?
Disaster for the defense. What this shows is, within minutes of her being questioned and breaking down under the questioning, I don't know what happened. She starts singing, looking around, dancing. They brought an expert saying that she has post-traumatic stress disorder. Over the objections to of the prosecution, the defense was let in on a limited basis. Even that expert is going to have a hard time saying she had post-traumatic stress disorder, because this is not the behavior of someone who suffered from that.
Evangeline, if I were the defense, I'd probably say, hey, this is a traumatized girl because she'd been abused by her boyfriend for so long, which is why she killed him.
Exactly, but what we also need to understand, and attorneys who have represented defendants in these types of matters have seen this before, people don't always have the same coping skills. And while this may be a situation where you and I may bite our nails or may cry, her coping skill here is that she's nervous, and this is how she's going to act. Remember Amanda Knox? When she was in the police station in Italy, we saw the same type of odd, bizarre behaviors, where you saw this woman who was doing jumping jacks or flips, who was affectionate with her boyfriend, and that was the same critique that she received.
You're shaking your head, Rebecca.
Well, because I'm watching this video, and what is damning about this video is 2 minutes prior, she was breaking down, ostensibly crying in her holding her face.
So in other words, she's acting there, so she may have been acting on the witness stand.
That's what I think. I think this shows she's an actress, not any suffering from post-traumatic stress.
When you look at this video, you hate her even more.
You do.
And so if the jury sees this, and we don't know yet if they will, but if they do see it, aren't they going to hate her even more? They're not going to buy her story?
Well, you hope the jury is not going to draw that conclusion and they're going to be objective. And they have to understand that people are not always going to react the way that we think they should react in situations.
You ever tried a case in front of an objective jury?
You'd be surprised how
even
many jurors are objective.
Okay, that's true, but even objective, you have a right and you have a requirement as a juror to make your own decisions based on the facts. And
Exactly, but I
would say that's a
sophistry to think that this woman is guilty based on that. I mean, she's already admitted guilt. She's admitted guilt.
She's admitted
guilt. So that's not an issue. It doesn't mean that it negates her defense.
Her credibility on the witness stand for the last 6 weeks. And they put an expert, the defense did, today. She suffers from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, he claims, which explains why she told so many lies. Wait a minute. You can buy an expert to say anything.
You can buy an expert to say anything. The prosecution
can buy an expert as well. So let's remember.
And they usually cancel each other out.
Maybe not. I mean, there might be an expert that really
the issue is, it looks here that this was a woman who knew that her time was up. And that she wasn't convincing in the statements she was making. Exactly. She knew she was going to be arrested and that it wasn't believable. And she was nervous.
That's the point. She's lying. She lied.
That's the conclusion.
6 weeks on the witness stand. Lance Ito must be presiding. Rebecca Rose Woodland, Evangeline Gomez. Good to see you both.
Good to see you.
Thank you.